Well, we were in the Brighton area. Something made me think of Enlarged Erie Canal, Lock 62. So we're behind Wegmans off of Route 31. And I'm going to take a look at this old lock. I've never been at this one, so it's kind of a treat. At this point, there's not a lot of locks I haven't been to before. So I'd imagine I'm on the towpath right here. Got a little park here. There's parking right behind Wegmans. It's not like I just parked there and I ran through the bushes over here. It's pretty set up. It's nice. They got railing all around the lock. You see. So we're at the upper end of the lock now. Should be the western end of the lock. You can see this being the towpath. And the scars at the tow lines. They're pulling boats in or out of the chambers. You got a little stairway here leading down. It's water level. Oh, that's not water. It's like a mirage or something. For some reason I was thinking there was water down here. Unbelievable. So I'm on the upper end, looking east. First thing that I'm noticing is that I'm fairly down in the canal. There hasn't been a whole lot of filling in over here. So you can see you got your upper approach wall to the lock. Pretty good condition. And we got the upper bulkhead. You'd have water. You can control how much water flows through there, but it's any excess water from this level would flow in there, or you could open it up to run water down a culvert that runs down the middle of this central pier in between the two chambers, which they would be able to create some water power. To either operate the tumble gates or the winch to pull the boats in and out. Man, it almost looks like there's a dead dog in the middle of that chamber. Awful lot of graffiti. But it's also nice to see the depth of the lock, because it doesn't seem to have been filled in too much over here. Yeah, looking west, I don't really see much going on up this way. Just freestyling. I haven't checked any maps or anything to see if there's any culverts or waste weirs or anything else cool around here. I'm just going to focus on Lock 62. Oh, that's interesting. We'll take a look over there. You got the miter sill. I'll take another look at that. See how much it's been reworked for a tumble gate if I add one. looking over the upper portion of the lock. You can see this is the upper end where the miter gates would be. We would have the iron brackets right here that hold the collar, holds the coin post and the gate. You got your staples between the capstone holding the blocks together. Kind of common. Nice deep lock, so I can tell right away that's gonna have a nice feel to it when you're in there. You're gonna be able to feel the depth. One thing I noticed at the other end was the cleats to get some for the lock tenders to get some leverage to push the balance beam on the gate to swing it. They had metal insets in the concrete cleats. Here they got them too. I've never seen this before on any of the locks. These type of cleats. So you'd use these with your feet for leverage to push the gates closed. So you got your single chamber here, which is 110 feet long, standard 18 feet wide. That was almost always going to be on your towpath side. And the opposite chamber will be your doubled chamber, so 220 feet. You can fit a boat in tandem. One lockage through that one. How about that? A little different. You got your concrete, some iron bar in there for traction. There's that concrete there. To make up the space you lose, because this is only the single chamber, there would be a dock about water level that ran the distance to fill in that gap. That's pretty good look right there. It's like Mayan ruins in a jungle. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. See, this hasn't been filled in much either. This is pretty deep. What this pile of rubble is. Doesn't really look like anything special. Anyways, look at that. Oh, and how about that? Because it hasn't really been filled in much, if anything. There's that culvert going through the central pier that I mentioned at the beginning. How about that? Damn, I'd like to go through there. No, I just don't feel for a 9.2 foot lift. It feels pretty high. I really like this lock. It kind of reminds me of some of those ones in Cahoes. Same feel. A lot of graffiti on this one, though. Almost every spot of real estate that you can get to. Blocks are still in great shape. I mean, there's not really any destruction going on here yet. Well, though, maybe not this one, but stuff like that. That'll start destroying shit. But anyways, I wanted to take a look at this miter sill up here. It's probably the sill for the tumble gate. I don't know if this had a tumble gate up here. It's always going to be on the upper end. A good portion of them were refitted for the enlarged Erie Canal locks because they were cheaper, faster. See, there was some carving out over here. Here's on that. He's going straight across. I think this had tumble gates. You got that carved off over there. And it's going in a straight line instead of the miter. Carved out on the other side too. It's kind of hard to tell besides that because the vegetation doesn't have much, but it's all just right here. Oh yeah, the corner's been squared off over there, going all the way up. Instead of rounded like on this side, so yeah, it had tumble gates. How about this depth? Basically a Rochester lock, right? It's pretty darn close. Old Erie Canal, lock 62. Sweet. See this enlarged chamber. It's always the most impressive because it's twice as long. Now let's go check out the. Oh, it's not cleared out the same as the other side. Stone block stairway. seen that before. Wonder if I should go through there. Why not? I know this is like one of the creepier locks I've done it. So from here up, that's all part of the new lock from the 1880s. And this is part of the original double lock. And look what we got here. Boy, isn't that nice? No, that's not from the gate. How about that? So throw some timbers up there in the middle gate pocket. Make it easier on the boats coming through here tandem so they don't go in there at all. Keep them out. You can see it's 3 rows on both sides. And I can't believe there's still 2 of them there. How cool is that? This lock has definitely got a few oddities on it that I like. So much painting. So repurposed. It kind of reminds me of the stories of the Roman Colosseum during the Middle Ages. Squatters just made their living quarters in there. How about this? Kind of confused how those tumble gates must have fit on there. It doesn't look like there'd be enough clearance, like there'd still be 7-foot clearance if it was up that high with the platform there. It's boxed in with the blocks. Look, you got a little bend. That's the former end of the lock. You can see a little twist in it where it would nose off. That's kind of neat. A little bend in an otherwise perfectly straight structure. So back on the towpath. Just climbed out of there. That was a different kind of lock. A lot of times they had the same kind of feel. This one didn't. Definitely didn't. It was cool. Different. A lot of different things about this lock. Got the concrete there. It's just reminders I'm walking away. I'm sure I'll be back sometime. You'll notice something a little different each time you come. Didn't plan on this, just freestyling. I visited so many places today, my mind's getting tired. Time to wrap her up. Look how much higher the canal is before I go than the rest of Brighton. It's way down there. Canal's way up there. Maybe not Brighton, Pittsford. Okay, maybe I'm in Pittsford. Lock 62 out.